In process management, in previous lecture, after understanding the process and threads and process in memory, in this lecture we will understand the process state. Before we proceed with the process state, we must know the process. Already we have discussed it. A process means the program is in execution is called as process. Before we indulge into the process states, we will first visualize one picture. So with this picture or this image, we can understand that this is a child. This child will come across the various stages of the life before enter into the old age. So now these are the various stages what we have. So comparing this image with our process, a first process is created, then we allocate that process to ready state, running state and all. Once it gets complete its execution in the CPU, it is terminated. Okay, so this is just an illusion of the life. One can get the birth, and after completion of all the stages, one or other day he or she will die. So similarly, comparing this example with the process states, first we always create a process. Okay, so when we say the process when it is in execution, right? So any program is in execution, it is called process, and it changes the state. It changes its states from one state to another state. When the process is created, then it is a new process. Okay, so therefore we say that the current activity of that process is defined by the process state. So therefore the state of the process is defined the part by the current activity of that process. So a process may be in one of the following state. If it is created, then it is called the process is being created. If first time it is coming for the execution, and that process is created by the OS, then it is called new state. And if it is in execution and all its instructions are being executed, then it is called running state. The third is the waiting state. The process is waiting for some event to occur, such as input output or reception of signal. So it is waiting for some event to occur, then it enters into the waiting state. And there is a ready state. The process is waiting to be assigned assigned to a processor. Means after completion of IO operations, again from waiting state to it will enter into ready state. The process is waiting to assign to the processor, so it is waiting for the CPU for the processor. And the final one is terminated. The process has finished all its execution, then it can terminate its execution. So these all are the states of the process. Now all these states we can understand by this figure, process state figure. Now you can see there is a new means new process is created, then this process is admitted to the ready state. When it enters the ready state, it will waiting to assign a processor. Once the processor is assigned to ready state process, then it will enter into running state. So running state is nothing but instructions are being executed. So all the instructions are being executed by that process, and once that process completes its execution, either it can terminate, or else if any instruction is still needed, for example say IO event has to be performed for that process, then it will go to waiting state. In the waiting state, the process is waiting for some event to occur, either input or output or any other signal. So thereafter, after getting IO events to occur here, so after completion of the events, again that process from waiting state to, it will go to ready state, and again it will wait for the processor to assign for that process. And again, if the process is assigned, CPU is assigned to that process will enter from running ready state to running state. And once the process enters from ready state to running state, again it instructions are being executed. Once its instructions are being executed, it gets complete all its instruction, it can exit, or else any higher priority process enters the CPU. Then interrupt occurs. When interrupt occurs, you can see there is one more arrow, interrupt arrow. So that running process will again go back to the ready state and wait for the CPU. So this is how this process state works, right? And once any process gets complete all its execution and instruction being executed, it will terminate, right? So this is all about this new running, waiting, ready and terminated state. And the first illusion I have given this image. In this illusion also we have created, now you can compare this child with the new process, right? And the last one you can compare with the terminate. Once all the stages we get complete in our life, we will reach to the last stage, that is terminate. So we can terminate the process once all its instructions are being executed and if it finish its execution. So this is how this process state works in the computer. Hope you understood this concept. So we will come up with the next lecture, that is the process control block. Thank you.